Okay, this is a video demonstrating the difference in suspension travel, movement, etc. about or between the energy suspension polyurethane bushings and the Megan Racing hard rubber bushing. Just to reiterate here, in the camber arm we have the polyurethane bushing, in the toe arm we have the Megan Racing hard rubber bushing. In case anyone asks or is interested, this bushing is pretty well lubricated. I didn't just re-lubricate it, but this bushing was only installed maybe a couple hundred miles ago at the most, and it still has, at least in relation to an energy suspension bushing, it still has pretty good play. And you can still see the grease on it and all that. So I guess I'm just going to move these here so you can kind of see the difference. I'm going to try, this is obviously not real scientific, but I'm going to try and use about the same amount of pressure between the two so that you can see the movement. So here's the hard, or the, not the hard race, and Megan Racing, same thing, bushing. And it does have kind of a springiness to it, so when you push down on it, it'll come back. So it's interesting in that it only resists movement in one way. It has a neutral state that it's always trying to return to, which I think is why Nissan says in the factory service manual that the car is supposed to be loaded with its normal weight before you tighten any of the arms, because the car's that way the suspension is always trying to return to its neutral state. So that would add kind of a, in my mind anyway, would add sort of an anti-sway bar effect, or a added spring rate effect, which I think is kind of interesting. Now here's how the polyurethane bushing is. Once again, I'm going to try and move this about the same amount here, and I don't know if it's showing up on the camera, but it doesn't move very much. And when it does move, I'm going to push on this real hard. It just stays. There's no tendency for it to return. You can kind of hear the suspension squeaking already. Like I said, this has only got a couple of 100 miles on it, and I'm just gonna hear now that I'm looking at the screen here, it's back to its kind of a neutral state here. So far, I think the Megan Racing is going to be a better bushing, at least for a lightly sprung car. As you can see, I'm running a Nismo S-Tune, set of S-Tunes, so we're not talking any kind of crazy spring rates here. I'm starting to feel like for a street car, this is going to be a whole lot better bushing.